Okay, so thank you all for being here. My name is Grace Duong. I created the Mystic Mondays Tarot, and I just wanted to host this healing circle as a way to contribute to the collective. Since I know we're all experiencing a lot of fear and anxiety and worry and stress, and this is just my way to give back to all of you if you are feeling any of those things so that we can heal together and hold space for each other, especially since it's like a Friday and we're supposed to practice social distancing. So it's kind of nice to hold space together in kind of an unconventional way. You know, we're not in person, but we're all connected to each other. And that's something that I think is really prevalent, especially in times like this, that we are more similar than we are different. So personally, I was feeling unwell on Monday when I landed back in Philadelphia. I was in California for 2 weeks, and like every little cough, every little sniffle, I was worried that I had something. And I was feeling a little sick, but I feel better now, and I'm still taking precautions of social distancing and just giving myself time to rest and really slow down, which I think a lot of this coronavirus and this pandemic is really helping us see, forcing us to see as well. Um, so I am a true believer that the more we heal ourselves, the more we're able to show up in the world as our most empowered and authentic selves. And that's only amplified in group settings. So you are in your physical space, and I just want to invite you to own that physical space, um, and then feel the connection as we go along that we have to one another. I just wanted to start off with some tarot cards that I pulled ahead of time and kind of talk about uh, what has been coming up. This was really in the framework of what this group kind of needed to be aware of. So first I have the King of Pentacles, and the King of Pentacles is a world leader. He's ambitious, he's an entrepreneur, and he is the big symbol of big businesses. And what came up next was not surprising, the Tower. And we're currently in that Tower moment of like things falling apart, things restructuring itself, and through the rubble we can form new ways of being. And perhaps that didn't fit under what these world leaders had for us. And so it comes into a time where we empower ourselves and where we boldly step into a new vision of how we want that to be. And I think that also means like taking more responsibility for ourselves and our future, and paving the path for that to come. This card was perfect for tonight and what we are about to do. And I always like to think of the Four of Cups as the meditation card. So we're really taking a step to go within and kind of reflect on what's going on and to see what is really valuable to us at this time. And the Seven of Wands reversed. I also think that this is a time for us to keep ourselves protected, but keep our hearts open. So with this card being reversed, I think it's more about not necessarily being on the attack or the defensive. It's kind of, in some ways, lowering our emotional shields, so that we have more capacity to love and to receive love, and to give love. So that's just something for us to set the tone of our time together. And so we're going to start off with a guided meditation that will last about, I think, maybe like 20 minutes. We only have 40 minutes together. So after that, I will open up the circle for any insights that anybody wishes to share. And I just want to remind everyone that I am here to facilitate, and I'm not here to necessarily provide and give you answers, because I believe that everybody has those answers inside themselves. This is really for the collective and a communal experience, and so it's much more about you than it is about me feeding you information. So I'm going to start off with lighting a chime candle, just to hold some space and protection for us. And I'm going to set it, I have a little tin foil thing here, so I'm going to set it down here. Pro tip, you light the bottom as well when you stick it to the foil so that it sticks. Okay, so to start, we're just going to do some very simple stretches so that we can begin to relax. So first, I'd like you all to roll your neck around in a circle, side to side, and just kind of like feel if there's any tension there. You can roll your neck around, I would say about 3 times. And really feel into it if you feel any knots or anything like that. And just take note of where you feel tense. And then when you're done the 3rd time, you can go the other way. And just begin to relax. Ground yourself into your space. Okay. Roll your shoulders, loosen up. Take a breath. And now take your wrists. I'm sure you're all at the computer a lot, just like me. And so you bend it forward, also bend it back. Do that with your other hand as well. And you can't see my feet, but basically do the same thing with your wrists, what I just did with your ankles. So you flex your feet, and then you bring it back down to the floor. I am noise. Now ground your feet and make sure you're comfortable, and I will start to play some music and we will begin the meditation. So ready, you can close your eyes. Take a nice deep breath. Inhale and exhale. Just want to remind anybody that isn't on mute to do that so that we can kind of dull the outside noise for everybody that's participating. So just breathe. Now, imagine a portal opening up on the top of your head from your crown chakra, and a waterfall appears, flooding your body with white light, protecting you and shielding you from anything on the outside. Strengthening your connection to your spiritual team. As the water flows down from your crown chakra on the top of your head to your 3rd eye, washing away any doubts, anything that is murky in your mind. The white light water flows down to your throat chakra, clearing away any blockages that prevent you from speaking your truth. Down to your heart chakra, opening up your capacity to love and to give love to yourself, to your friends and family, to the world. The water flows to your solar plexus, giving power to your sense of self, your willpower, and your special gifts that make you uniquely you. We need you. The water flows down to your sacral chakra, allowing yourself to feel your desires, your pleasures, to enjoy the present moment, to take it day by day. The white light water flows to your root chakra, sifting through and releasing any fears, providing you security and safety in the comfort of your home. The white water flows through you, down your legs, being absorbed by the ground, releasing all that no longer serves you. Now scan your body. Scan your body to see where you're feeling tightness and constriction. Identify those areas like hot spots and send loving energy there. It can be in the form of color, white light, anything that your body needs. Nurture those areas now. Take a pause and breathe. Whisper a loving message to those parts of your body. Let them know it is safe to be here in this moment, safe to release the tightness and the constriction, and that you will always be there to take care of them, to take care of you. Now, imagine that you are holding your hands out and a seed appears. It can be any size, shape, texture, or color. Whisper an intention to the seed. Take your time. Breathe. With the very ground that all your excess energy was recycled into, you plant the seed into the ground. The seed starts to take root, and the root grows stronger and stronger, sifting through the dirt. Nothing can stop its growth. It reaches all the way down to the core of the earth. Mama Earth receives you, gives light and love to your intentions, hugging you with a warm embrace. She sends you back up, sifting through the dirt as you reach higher and higher. Feel yourself expand as you go up. Your seed starts to sprout. Notice what your plant looks like. Is it leafy, dry, wet? As your plant begins to grow past your ankles, your knees, notice what color is it. The plant continues to grow past your hips and your chest. Notice what the weather is like. Is it sunny? Is it rainy? What weather conditions does it take for your plant to grow and survive? Your plant grows past eye level, past your head, and grows straight up into the sky, past the outer layers of the earth, into the universe. This is how large, impactful, and important your intentions are. Meet your plant in space where it chooses to stop growing. See the planet Earth in front of you. What messages do you have for the Earth? Take this moment to let them know how you feel. Take a pause and breathe here as you tell the Earth your truth. Now listen to what the Earth has to say back to you. Listen to the wisdom and the gifts that they have for you. Take a moment. Take these messages back down to Earth, back down to your country, back down to your city. Take your energy back down to your street, back down to your home, in the room that you're in. Feel your feet on the floor. Give gratitude to the house that shelters you, gives you safety and warmth. Send love to those that need it, your loved ones, all the people in need around the planet. Go back inside your body and start to give those parts of you a wiggle. Your hands, your toes, rocking your head side to side. Allow yourself to start to wake up again. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. Okay. Thank you all for joining me with the meditation. If you have a journal, feel free to take a moment to journal. We have about 16 minutes. So if anybody wants to share anything with the group on what came up for them, that would be amazing. And so I will open up the circle. Anybody? It's also okay if you want to keep that private. And I suppose if anybody has questions for me, I'm glad to answer any questions. Somebody asked, what was the third card you presented to us from Jem? And that card was the Queen of Wands from the Mystic Mondays Tarot, which I created. I love these messages. This was really beautiful. Thank you so much. I felt the sun on my face as my plant grew. I was focusing on the intention. I am patient and hopeful, from Jetty. Gabby, I thank you. I feel so grounded. Joey, enjoying the peaceful moment together but apart. Oh, I love that. Jetty, and my plant was a tree. Maggie, thank you. Jem, awesome, thanks. Sierra, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. This world is in so much need of healing and release. I thank you all for doing this together. I thank all of you too. Thank you for being here. Tamara, and cheers. Sarah Data, I love your deck. Are you planning to release another deck soon? Yes, I actually have another deck. It's called the Crystal Grid deck, and that will be released in the fall. I don't have a set launch date yet, but I will definitely announce that on social media once I do. Camilla, thank you for taking the time to do this. My plant is a magnolia flower. That's beautiful. Laura, really strong to a Pentacles imagery coming up when we were envisioning the space. Jem, as my plant grew, my eyes reared through my closed eyes. Thank you so much for this. Laura, thank you so much for this. I am so grateful you're all here. Darth Kitty Cat, my plant was a sunflower. It's my family's flower of strength. That is beautiful. Thank you so much. I really feel that powerfully in your lineage. Jem, my eyes tear. Julia, I honestly spoke to the earth about a lot of inadequacies I was feeling, but the earth responded by nurturing me. Ah, I felt that warmth. That is beautiful. Locke, thank you so much for this. I don't know what my plant was, but it was purple. Well, purple is the color of this candle, and purple is a very spiritual color, so that is incredible. DC, my plant was an ivy-like plant with purple soft petals. Not entirely sure what kind of plant that could be, and it was raining softly. Well, we definitely need more rain in some parts of the world. That is incredibly healing. Jem, your deck is rad. Looking forward to your new deck. Yay, me too. Thank you. Samara, something to look forward to for sure. Katie, thank you so much. Taking it day by day, breath by breath. This was a great reminder of practicing gratitude. Thank you. Samara, inspired to paint my plant. Yay! I would love for you to send a picture. That would be great. Devin, my plant was a rose bush with bright pink flowers, and it bloomed because it required patience and care. Well, this is the perfect time for that. Wildflower wellness. Thank you. I felt connection to my higher self and felt connection with the universe in our community. Vanessa, I appreciate you. This gave me exactly what I needed. I appreciate you too. Sierra, I'm crying because I feel so much more hopeful. Thank you again. I love you all, though I may not know you. I send you all the light and love my heart can give. I'm just receiving that, and yeah, I just feel really incredibly grateful that you're all here too. Joey, I had a plum tree. Very cool. Preradata. It's funny, but I imagined my seed to be an avocado seed. Nice. Very nourishing. Gem. My plant was ivy type, but had red roses growing out of it. Sunny day. Yana. I love your deck. Queen of Wands keeps coming up for me as my daily card. Stephanie, thank you so much for this. I felt it so deeply. I had your deck with me and pulled the Hanged Woman after. funny enough, that card came up for me too. I think because I thought I had like a mild case of coronavirus earlier this week. I feel a lot better, thank goodness, because I slept a lot. But I think the Hanged Woman is actually a really great card for the collective as we're kind of in this space of being patient and waiting, and also giving ourselves time to recuperate and recover. So I think time is a gift that we can give ourselves for sure. Anisha, my plant was a white lotus with a gold pyramid in the middle. Wow. The earth nurtured me and told me to move forward with confidence. This gave me so much hope and motivation. I love that. That that feels very ancient and spiritual. Sierra, I don't know what this plant would be, but I pictured a plant as a vine with star-shaped pink petals. Ooh, that bloomed underneath the moonlight. I wish I knew what plant existed that was like that. That's amazing. Well, I encourage you all to take this meditation, a journal, paint, whatever feels good to you to create. And if you want to send me an email or shoot me a message on Instagram, I'm happy to chat there as well. Getting some other messages. Hey Grace, love the deck. As I learn, I've been pulling 3 cards in the morning. Lately, I've been pulling the 10s from the deck. Any thoughts? Well, the 10s are actually a completion. So whatever life cycle you're going through, we start from the aces, which is like the ones, and then we go through each number as a step. And when we get to the 10s, it typically means that you've reached a completion point and you're at the end of a cycle. So I would say that you are reaching a point where you are either it's I think with each suit it means something different. So for example, with the wands, it could mean like you're pushing like a creative project and you're kind of at a point where you're expanding and you need more help. With the swords, the 10 of Swords can be a scary card for some people, but I think it's also a great card as a signifier that you're releasing like martyrdom or victimhood, and you're ready to release like toxic thoughts and to move on with your life, kind of thing. uh, 10 of Pentacles I look at as a card of legacy. So the foundations that you've set for your material world has come into fruition, and you're ready to share that with your community, um, whether it's your family or your friends, or even beyond that, just sharing your riches with everyone else. And the Cups, I see that as emotional fulfillment, not just in your relationships, but also in every aspect of your lifestyle. So tens are great. um, Wildflower Wellness, these are also beautiful. Thank you everyone for sharing. Louise, do you recommend any spreads? I always like doing like simple card pulls, if just for a daily check-in, which you can do digitally on the Mystic Mondays app. I also love doing the Celtic cross spread, and then whenever a new moon or full moon comes up, I tend to do a spread around that too. I also like to do like a monthly ritual to check in with myself to see what's going on. Let's see. Jetty. When we got to space, I remembered the story of Michael Collins, the third astronaut on Apollo 11, who fell behind the dark side of the moon while Buzz Aldrin and Neil Armstrong stepped on the moon. Michael Collins was all alone without any people or any communications to Earth. Felt timely with the quarantining, but also realizing just how connected we all are. Definitely. Thank you for sharing that insight. Samara, just pulled the Justice card from your deck. I feel hopeful that everything will fall into place just as it should. You know, I feel pretty positive about this too. I think, you know, it absolutely sucks. But I think that this gives way for us to restructure and to live in a world that we want to live in. And unfortunately, that, you know, we have to see some kind of like the tower moment where things kind of crumble in order for us to rebuild from the rubble. And I think we're just like in it. So I am also hopeful that we're gonna make it through. Jetty. Oh, I just want to add, we are also very resilient as humans. So I'm like, I'm positive that we'll be fine as a collective. Jetty. I just pulled strength reversed. I would say strength reversed. I think a lot of us are seeing what's on the outside. And so I think this is a calling for us to go within even more. And the quarantine, even enforcing that, we meet our shadows that way. And sometimes that's uncomfortable. But just know that you have all the resources to make it through. Jonathan. Yeah, it's crazy. Monday I pulled 10 of Pentacles and Swords, and yesterday 10 of Cups and Wands out of all 78. Yeah, tarot is crazy like that. Tarot tells you what you need to know, whether you like it or not. That's how I see it. Netta. My name is Netta. It's seedling in Hebrew. Well, this is perfect for you. My plant is sunflower because it always looks at the sun and have hope like we should now. Definitely. Jaina. I do a daily pull with your deck for 3 months now, and I get 2 of Swords at least twice a week. Still not sure why. Well, I suppose if that's coming up for you, to pay special attention to the messages. And if you're not sure why, I would recommend journaling about it, meditating on it, and just seeing what is coming up for you around those cards, the Two of Swords specifically. And if you need clarification, I always like pulling an extra card. You know, you can just ask the cards as well, like, I need clarification. Like, can you please, you know, send another card? And so you can pick another card to kind of gain clarity on what the Two of Swords is leaning towards. Jonathan, this was beautiful. Thanks. I'll look out for your upcoming crystal deck. Peace and love. Thank you for joining. DC, yes, I pulled Temperance reversed, 6 of Cups and 6 of Wands. Lots of sixes in there. Anisha, I just pulled the Ace of Wands and 9 of Swords. Any thoughts? Well, I think that this quarantine is actually a really creative period. I think a lot of creativity comes from moments in history where we're hit with some sort of struggle. So I think that we're going to see a lot of, you know, creative work that comes out of this. Like the seeds that are planted with aces and wands are all about passions. And I think that this gifts us a lot of time to kind of like pursue those passions, or at least like get curious about what that is and how we can manifest that. And then 9 of Swords is the worry card. That's what I call it shorthand, where we may manifest like our worries and anxieties, and we may just be overthinking things and creating problems for ourselves. So I think 9 of Swords, we're all kind of in that space because we're uncertain about the future. So we don't know how this is all going to play out, but I would just recommend for everyone to stay as present as possible, because we can only move towards the future in the present moment. Joris, it's kind of creepy just how spot on the Mystic Mondays Tarot always is, either the physical deck or the app. It's a real guidance for me. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. This was a real labor of love, and it gives me a lot of joy that a lot of people in the world are using it, and that it helps them with their own intuition and the situations that you're in. So I love messages like that. Thank you. Jen, I just pulled Queen of Cups reversed and the Fool reversed and Nine of Pentacles. DC, do you do classes, workshops using this format platform as well? You know, actually, this is my first webinar, but I definitely plan on doing more in the future. And so, yeah, keep an eye out. This is fun. Per data, any tips to get started for beginners? I read tarot casually, but I want to get better at it. Well, um, I think a great tip would be just to familiarize yourself with the cards. So I would start with drawing a card a day, and then when you're comfortable, moving up to like 3 card spreads, but keeping it very simple at first. If it helps you remember the cards better, to just read the upright versions, I think that's fine as a beginner because 78 cards is a lot, and then add on the reversals, that's also a lot. So don't overwhelm yourself. I would say just start small. Julia, yeah, do more. I will. Adri, I pulled Knight of Wands, of Cups, and the Tower. Part data, thank you. Okay, everyone, so we're over time by 3 minutes now, and I just want to thank you guys for coming, and I'm so grateful for all of you, and I definitely look forward to doing this again. So yeah, feel free to leave a comment on Instagram or about your experience. I would love that. And if you want to reach out to me, feel free to do that too. Okay, ciao.